Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Cursed 20s. I am Cody.
I'm Zach.
I'm David.
I tried to introduce them last time and they yelled at me. So, getting together to talk about Auto Diem again. Our future space campaign, hopefully coming out in May-ish of 2026. We have a couple of other things to finish up on the channel before we get there. We are talking today about your character concept. Give us a brief overview and then we'll kind of go from there.
Doc Brown meets Rathaniel from the Ravening War, crazy old man Radish.
So you want to play an eccentric inventor.
Yeah. I want to play a dude who's crazy in the mind because of the experiments done on him.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
And because of that, he is driven by a need to invent and find and learn and just be a little bit weird.
I like it.
Stay weird.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that's gonna mesh really well with the concept that Dylan has for his character. Again, you can go watch that on our channel. The video about the scout. That'll be his character concept that he's currently designing. Where what do you got for your character so far? Do you have a class and a race picked out, or
Yeah, so I think my basic idea, like I said, I'm thinking of a guy who's had a bunch of experiments done on him. And I'm thinking I want to play somebody who was a human in a past life, but in this need to invent and discover and learn, he either was the subject of an experimentation or subjected himself to experimentation. And in the process, turned himself into a plasmoid. I want to play a weird, freaky little blue blob thingy.
so?
But he's
That's
gonna have Doc Brown hair. It's a blue blob with Doc Brown hair. Just the Einstein everywhere.
So that's actually a really interesting idea for me on the DM side because now it's like, okay, if you became a plasmoid because of an experiment, are you the only plasmoid, or or are plasmoids a naturally occurring a natural?
Did you create all plasmoids?
I think my thought was that he was the only one of his kind, but maybe that's just what he thinks. And maybe he can be proven wrong. But I think he thinks he's a freak of nature that just happened to happen and that there's it hasn't been repeated elsewhere.
So then you not even if there are other plasmoids, then do I decide that you are a freak in nature to the plasmoids because you're not a real one, you
Right?
made yourself one.
Yeah.
And you're a freak in nature
Maybe
to
there
humanoids.
maybe there is like a planet of plasmoids that hasn't been discovered yet, and we discover it. And I'm like, oh, I found my people, and they're like, you're not fucking one of us, you weirdo. Like that would be really cool. But also if there just is none and he is a freak, that's also cool.
Right, that gives me a lot of ideas now. Like now, I need to think about that change. That give that one little detail from like your quote unquote backstory. Now gives me a whole like wave of information about the world I need to figure out, which is fun for me.
Love that. Gonna be playing a plasmoid, and I kind of going along that like experimenting kind of theme. I'm gonna be playing an engineer from the Star Wars 5e
Okay,
system.
yeah,
With that, he's going to be taking the unstable engineering archetype,
okay.
which is essentially wild magic artificer. Because an engineer is essentially an artificer. So really doubling down on the whole idea of
Oh wow,
eccentricity.
this is
I love it.
gonna be. I don't even know how this is gonna be really. What's the word? Exciting for me to DM. I love it.
I
Uh,
love anything wild magic. I think it's hilarious and awesome.
this may be
We are
something.
going for a more comedy vibe in this campaign.
I'm gonna show you that like the wild magic table for this because it's freaking hilarious. But yeah,
Okay.
1 to 2. You keep rolling. For the next minute, you can see any invisible creature if you have line of sight. A tracker droid appears within 5 feet of you, then disappears a minute later. You cast explosion at a 3rd level. You cast homing rockets at 5th level. Your height changes by a number of inches equal to the roll. Fucking you regain 5 hit points at the start of each of your turns for the next minute. You grow a long beard made of feathers that remains until you sneeze.
Wow.
Like you teleport up to 60 feet, so just a free 60-foot misty step.
You take 2d10 lightning damage.
Yeah, some of these are just great. Some of them are terrible. You start running uncontrollably for 1 minute, moving your entire speed each turn. Like
I love that.
I love this so much.
Oh man, that sounds like so much fun to play, dude. Oh my gosh.
And each one, it's only 2 numbers, so like there's 50 different options, which is a lot more, I think, than the actual Wild Magic Sorcerer table. And I love
Thank
that.
you, people who sit at home and write this out and are creative. And
You're the best.
And put it up for free on the internet. You're the best.
Yes. So question then. I have a question for you. How do you see how do you see your character interacting with the world around him? And changing the world around him?
I think if you can kind of imagine how R2D2 plugs into every computer console he sees, that's what my guy's going to be doing. He's going to just walk up to computers and start touching them and just start looking at stuff. He's going to just be like trying to download information everywhere he goes. He's going to be
doing some
tinkering with,
wackadoo.
tinkering with things he shouldn't be, messing with weapons, messing with ships,
Mhm.
friendly ships, enemy ships. He's
Mhm.
going to be like a little oblivious, like socially. Definitely gonna be just like a, oh, I'm sorry, what'd you say? Am I not supposed to be doing this? Sorry. And
Mhm.
yeah, that
Yeah.
entire vibe.
I like that.
Alignment.
Oh.
Probably full true neutral. Just
Chaotic
neutral,
neutral?
neutral. Maybe chaotic. Probably chaotic now that I think about it.
If you're doing like experiments on yourself or just not caring what people think and logging
Yeah.
around the computers, you're
Yeah,
probably a
probably
little chaotic.
chaotic neutral.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. And what are you hoping? I don't know if this question makes sense. How are you hoping his story ends? What are you hoping he gets out of the story and you get out of him?
I would honestly be okay with halfway through the campaign doing something with him where he has some crazy invention and something cool happens and he rides off into the sunset, and then I bring in a second character for the second half of the campaign. Him blowing himself up in a blaze of glory, something like that would be fun.
What if it was like a super n- uh non-important death? What is that movie where the
He
guy
fell
like
30 feet.
you remember you guys see that movie where the guy's like, I'm gonna save my friends from the dinosaur, and he walks out with the grenade and he's like, come and eat me, hoping that he blows the dinosaur up from the inside, and the dinosaur just hits him with the tail and he flies like 300 feet and blows up way off in the distance and does nothing. What if it's because he's so eccentric? What if it's something like that? He's like, I'm gonna do this to save my friends, and then it does nothing to help and he just dies anyway.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
absolutely on par for what I imagine this character
Okay,
to do.
that's exactly. I don't want to take. That sounds like as you describe your character, I was like, I can see him dying and something he thinks it's helpful, but it's just not helpful at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Falls in a vat of pudding and becomes
He
soft serve.
fully believes that what he's doing is the right thing, and it is so clear to everybody else that it is not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I love that. That sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun to play. Oh, so
I gotta work on a voice. Don't know a voice yet,
oh,
but
you're gonna do voices.
we gotta do a voice. Nobody had a
Like,
voice in the.
So I dropped a short last week that got me a lot of flack about voices, and I think it's hilarious. I dropped a short that basically said, don't if trying to figure out a voice is stopping you from playing D&D, don't worry about a voice. And I got so many comments of like, I'm gonna do a voice. I'm not gonna stop doing a voice just because somebody on YouTube told me to stop doing a voice. And I was like, I didn't say don't do a voice. I just said don't worry about doing a voice. And I had a lot of people
I
say,
fully agree though. If you think you have to have a voice to play D&D, you're so fucking wrong. But once you get comfortable enough playing D&D, starting to play around with the voices is fun.
yeah,
It's not what this video is about, but I will agree. Having a voice makes RP more fun and more engaging, I think.
yeah,
Definitely
I
agree.
don't
And that
dis-
might just be like a me thing. Like I'm able to connect more by disassociating from myself with a voice.
100%. It
I'm
helped with
not
pickles.
disagreeing. All the video stated was if you can't do a voice, that doesn't mean you shouldn't play D&D.
And I agree with that.
Okay.
Live in front of a mirror.
Yeah, practice daily on your wife.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like, is this guy gonna just be like real high energy, like the Doc Brown, just like whoa, or am I gonna actually work on like a voice?
We have like 5 months to figure it
Maybe he
out.
has
Yeah,
a
exactly.
list.
Yeah,
He could have a
he
list.
hasn't.
Maybe he's a little, maybe
Maybe.
he's a little Latin flair, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I
Wow.
could work on my British.
And you're British.
Yeah.
I
Thing
like
with-
that.
The thing with British accents is like I'll go to do it, and then like minute later, it's a completely different British accent from the one that I was.
Oh no, that's why I said British. I don't. It's all of them together.
European, Australian, Eastern European.
I'm gonna do the bottle of water, and then I'm gonna also do bottle of water. I'm gonna mix them both up.
You're
You
gonna
know,
go like proper British versus
bottle of water.
yeah. Any last notes about your character before we wrap up?
No, I think that's really the main gist that I want to be sharing with my other characters, my other players, I should say, so that as we're building our characters, we can kind of figure out what works together.
And there will be
One
a
thing
deeper breakdown on our session 0.
Yeah, we will have a session video come
Yeah,
out before we start.
we'll
the
actually
campaign.
narrow down like
Yeah.
specific backgrounds so that we can kind of tie it together a little
Yeah,
more.
exactly, and I'll have a better idea of exactly where you are and what you're doing and things along those natures, and I'll have like an established people network that of people you guys know and stuff like that. I think I had a question for you, but I can't remember in the moment, so we'll have to catch it on the next video. Everybody, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and roll well.